Transmissions jammed. Proximity coverage only.
Hey guys, Jacob here. It is February 18th, 2020, and this is going to be this week's weekly vendor reset. As usual, I'm starting at the base of ops, and today he is selling an MP7 with preservation, Allegro, and recharged. If you're trying to find an MP7, this is a 491 gear score, so it's a little bit lower than 500, just by a little bit, and you can change preservation to something like strained or ranger, or something like measured if you're trying to make this into a DPS style weapon. Next is this Police M4 with measured extra and transmission. This weapon is a pretty decent pickup if you guys are new to the game and you're looking for a pretty decent gun to use. You can always change extra to something like Allegro and have a pretty decent high RPM weapon with also some pretty decent damage. 93R sidearm with ranger, distance, and rooted. Rooted is really nice if you want skill damage and healing increased by 25% while the gun is equipped. If you're trying to use just rooted for a second to get the extra skill damage and healing. 511 backpack with weapon damage, 12,000 armor and crit damage. This does have hardened and restorative on it and utility mod slot. Petrov defense chest piece with 447 skill power, crit damage, crit chance, and weapon damage with capacitive and a utility mod slot. Defensive critical mod, crit chance, headshot damage, and weapon damage. Freedom package for the drone blast radius, which requires 1,407 skill power, and spare parts for the turret, which is 1,283 skill power, which is 42.7 skill haste. If you guys are not subscribed, I usually upload these videos every day, or every week, my bad, and I upload videos pretty often, daily, from the Thieves and Resets to build videos, and also Division 2 news, so if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe. Next is going to be the clan vendor. You may not have access to this vendor if you guys are new to the game, and if you're not in a clan, you probably won't be able to get in here at all, but if you join a clan, you will have access to this. But he is selling the Percussive Maintenance Backpack, which is the named Alpha backpack with perfect tech support, insulated for hazard protection, which isn't too bad, and 2 utility mod slots. This has 24,000 armor with crit damage. You can always change the crit damage to something like skill power, but I know a lot of you guys are probably going to be trying to find them with double yellows. That way you can have 4 yellows on here to make up for perfect tech support. Hardwired chest piece, restorative, headshot damage, crit damage, and skill power, which is 576. True Patriot knee pads, a 6% crit chance. True Patriot gloves with 11% assault rifle damage and 3% marksman rifle damage. So I'd recommend picking these up if you guys are looking for assault rifle damage rolls. That way you can pretty much just roll these onto anything you want. And it's almost, the 13% is what you can get off the motherly gloves. But if you guys cannot roll those or don't have the blueprint, I would highly recommend picking these up. Or just pick them up for a True Patriot build. You could always change marksman rifle damage to something like health or something like crit hit chance. Next is going to be the ACS with Steady-Handed, Allegro, and Wascally. This ACS isn't too bad. You can always change Steady-Handed to something like to your liking. Allegro is really nice with the RPM, and Wascally is great if you're trying to be able to resist ensnare resistance. ACR SS with Reformation, Accurate, and Protected Deploy. Providence Holster with crit damage and skill power. Military P416 with Optimus, Extra, and Rooted. Curious Revolver, Vindictive, Extra, Stop, Drop, and Roll. Stop, Drop, and Roll is really nice for a sidearm if you want to roll this on there. That way you can, while equipped, rolling removes burning and bleed and poison status effect can occur once every 60 seconds. Shine Light Industries Mask with crit hit chance, damage deletes, and restorative, which is health on kill. Roddy's Holding with 31,000 armor, crit damage, and hardened. Utility System Electronics with Hive skill power, drone skill power, and skill power. Disregarded Links, which is plus 5 ammo for the pneumatic slot, which is 2,215 skill power requirement. Utility Intensity with skill power, increased poison, increased shock duration. And the Chem Launcher Educator slot, which is for the 1,660, 55.3% heal. And that's going to be it for the first 2 vendors in the base of ops. Next up on the list is going to be the settlements. First, we're going to start at the theater settlements. He's selling a Marine Super 90 with strain and stable and cannon. This actually is a pretty decent shotgun for a crit style shotgun build. Police Mark 17 with strain extra. This is a pretty decent rifle as well. You could always change something like strain to ranger and run this if you want a rifle. Roddy's Holding with 9% LMG damage with kneecap. Overall knee pads with 15,000 health and insulated. Defense System Mending, which is explosive resistance, health, and armor. The Infusion for the Seeker Mine, which is 78.8 healing, which requires 2,125 skill power. The fiber for the ballistic shield, which is 1,654 for the health, which is 55.3. And the guided system for the Firefly, which increases the max targets, which is 2,001. And that's going to be it for the theater settlement. Next up is the campus. Alright, next up, like I said, is going to be the campus settlements. She is selling an SR-1 sniper rifle with Reformation, Jazz Hands, and Rooted, an MG5 with Measured, Stable, and in Rhythm, 511 mass with Centered, Skill Haste, and Skill Powered, Roddy's holding holster with Crit Damage and Offensive Mod, that's the Offensive Mod slot that is, Utility System for the Pulse, and the Turret Skill Power, and Skill Power, Feed Strip for the Chem Launcher for the Educator slot, which is 2,382 requirements for Skill Power, Nitroglycerin Mixture, which is for the Hive, which is 22% healing, which is actually pretty low. So if you guys are trying to make a build that you guys can use to heal yourself, I'd recommend picking this up. That way you can get a little bit of healing out of your Hive. And the Atmospheric Analyzer, which is for the effect duration for the Pulse, which is 1,831. And that's going to be it for the campus settlement. Guys, the next location is going to be DZ West. If you guys are new, you will need the new currency, which is going to be the resources you guys will see in the bottom left corner there. You can acquire those from killing NPCs and also looting boxes, but apparently later on in the game when the new update comes out, they will be changing this resources and the currency a little bit different. But she's selling a Tactical Super 90 SBS, which has close and personal accurate transmission, which is really nice for a shotgun. This has, within 7 meters you get 50% weapon damage for 10 seconds, and this is at 100k. But just a reminder, these weapons depend on your build and also the base damage of the weapon. You can also craft some of these weapons to get the talents you want, so you don't have to spend the resources. Urban MDR with status, optimize, and protected reload. Wyvern Gloves with crit hit chance, pistol damage, and clutch. So if you guys are trying to find some clutch Wyvern Gloves, I'd recommend picking these up. That way they already have crit chance on them and pistol damage, and you could have this clutch already on there. I'm actually going to buy these right now because I actually need these.
You got what you need.
And Murakami knee pads with 6.5 total armor with self-adjusting defense protocol stamina, skill health, armor on kill, and health. Russian Doll protocol extra cluster seeker mines. Synthetic mineral frame for the ballistic shield, which is 87.7 skill haste, and the auxiliary battery for the Firefly, which is 245, and that's going to be it for DZ West. Next up is going to be DZ South, as you guys see right here. It says DZ South. And she is selling a MP5A2 with eyeless, stable, and transmission. SOCOM MK16 with spike, stable, and rhythm. M45A1 with close and personal, optimize, and protected deploy. Return Kaiser backpack with on the ropes, vital, skill, power, weapon damage, crit chance. Y'all Gear chest piece with 22,000 health, weapon damage, headshot damage, and vital. Defensive system dexterity with optimal range, weapon handling, and weapon damage. Explosive requisition for the extra bombs for the drone. Carbon fiber barrel for the turret, which is 78.1 health, and that's going to be it for DZ South. Alright guys, the final location is going to be DZ East, as you guys will see right here. She's selling a classic M44 carbine with steady-handed extra cannon, M249 with status, distance, and transmission, which status is really good if you guys are trying to make a bleed-style build. Providence defensive mask with empowered skill haste and hazard protection. This is really nice too, that way you get the empowered from the skill power, and you have a little bit of hazard protection. You can always up the skill haste, because you are going to get 10%, so you actually get 30% from this mask for skill power. Alp Summit holster with insulated for hazard protection, 658 skill power, utility and offensive mod slot. Utility systems electronics for the drone, pulse, and skill power. Auxiliary battery for the chem launcher. Backpack battery for the Hive, which is 52.8 skill haste. And another atmospheric analyzer, which is 48.6 effect duration. That's it, guys. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you subscribe for more Division 2 content, and I'll catch you guys